Hey everyone, this is going to be my second video of Star Scramble, and I did put up a pre-video of just taking a look at it and seeing that it took forever to even get to the point of being able to play it, and the graphics are horrible, and I did compare it to a bad Atari game, and I don't think that I was too far off from the first evaluation. And I'm kind of dreading doing this video just because of how bad this portion of the game is. And I also took just a little bit of time to go into the forums and make sure that I just wasn't having a bad feeling or a bad taste in my mouth. And just everybody that are in those forums have nothing but bad to say. Even the teams that are winning have nothing but bad to say about this. It is just unbelievably horrible. And I did compare this to a bad Atari game in my first video that I made of this, and I think I was absolutely correct. And so, there's quite a few questions and quite a few seemingly flaws, and this is just not fun. I mean, it's just not a fun portion of the game. And also, Wing Fighter had changed so many things, the way the pilots work, the way your weapons work, and they just kind of, shafted a lot of other players that have been playing this a long time by trying to make this event. And I don't know if they're trying to make it fair, because realistically, no matter what they do with this, it is going to be a lopsided match. The matching on this is just incredibly horrible. It's just really bad. And so you can see here, and I kind of want to explain something, that makes this kind of bad into a different sense. So you can see here, Ace Vietnam, which is a really, really good team. We've played them plenty of times in Planet Wars, and no discredit to them. They are a really good team. Their members play, and hats off to them. But here's one thing, and it kind of goes back to Planet Wars a little bit, and I think people are adjusting to it, and had to adjust to it. But time zones have a huge factor in this. I'm from the United States, and the overseas teams have such a huge advantage to Planet Wars, and they also have a huge advantage to this because they get to start fresh in the morning all day and going into their night. And for us, we're going to bed. We're getting ready for work, and by the time we really get a chance to wrap our head around what's going on, we're just automatically devastated. We didn't really have a chance to play this game because, again, most of us are in bed getting ready for work and other things. So there's a huge disadvantage to the time zone, depending on who you're playing and where they're from. And going back to Planet Wars, there's always been this complaint, especially for us in the United States playing overseas teams, that there is a incredible server lag for us to being able to get planets and to do things just as fast as somebody that is closer to the actual server where the game is made. So I just kind of want to address that a little bit, that there's been that very horrible server lag that has made a pretty big impact on the other teams playing other teams. So right there alone, there's a pretty big disadvantage. And right now, we're going into our afternoon, and so you can see here, we were already demolished before we even really got a chance to play this the right way. And so even, playing it, there's a lot of problems. So we're going to go into here. And, I did play it a little tiny bit last night for the 5 seconds that we were able to play it with the limited moves. And, you go into the forums, and, there is this other complaint going on here that some of the teams got over 6 moves. Some of the teams got 9 moves. Some of them got over 9 moves. Some teams only got the 6 moves. And I think there's a really big problem there. And, I think there's a lot of glitches with this. The point system really doesn't even make sense. I mean, it really doesn't make sense. And so, it's becoming just very apparent that, if a team is a little bit bigger than you, and even if you have one whale, there's a good chance if the other team has a couple of just bigger players that they're just going to blow it out. There's no real fairness to this for either side. And so, this portion of the game, they call the biggest players whales, and so they basically said that this was set up to make the whales even bigger and the bigger teams even bigger. And so I think there's just a major problem with this. And just going back and looking at this, you can see I have saved my 3 moves for this video, but technically there's supposed to be 6, and then like I said, there's 9. And I mean, it is just so confusing by up in the left hand corner there that it says 3. So I'm going to do this in real time because this is my second attempt at trying to wrap my head around how to play this. Is there a real strategy? I think if there was a strategy, your biggest players should just go after the biggest players. Don't go after the small ones. Let your lower level teammates with less power take out the lower, and the bigger try to take out the bigger. Don't try to mix match that for one. I can tell you that's not a very good strategy. But if you're a bigger player, try to take on the bigger players to keep them from taking out your smaller players. I mean, that might be the strategy. I think they were trying to set this up as a chess match to a degree, but again, it's just becoming just a blowout between time zones. And again, how many moves are these teams actually getting? Because I mean, you can see this score that we have here, and it really makes no sense. I mean, it really makes no sense. But one thing that I can see that Ace was doing is they did reset our team, and I was able to be beat by their smaller players after they after they attacked me multiple times. And so you can take out the bigger players. I mean, you can. So you're not totally screwed if there is one big whale sitting there. There is hope into that also. But once a team resets your team, then it's just another frenzy of attacks on the smaller players to get their score up. And I think that's the other strategy at this point that I'm seeing is you want to get their team reset as fast as possible, and that way you can just get your lower level players to attacking them back. But again, if they have a couple of bigger players and you can't get those bigger players out, then you're going to have an issue. You're going to have an issue getting those points because they're just going to sit there and you're not going to be able to do anything. And then there's another major flaw in the forums also stating, if a player is taken out, why are they able to attack? So just a lot of just strange things with this. And I'm going to play my portion of this in front of you so I can kind of see how many moves do I get. Like I said, it's just so confusing because there's no timer up there saying when you're going to get your moves back. Once you do your moves, I mean, when do I get those back? I mean, every 12 hours. So, I mean, do I need to set an alarm for every 12 hours to do this? Or in the forum, some were saying after an hour or two that they were getting some of their moves back. And others were saying it was taking 12 hours. And you're just getting this huge mixed array of just really bad comments, not only in the forums, but just us playing this. So it's a little confusing. Okay, so I do have one little positive. I do like how you can set up your defense before you play this, but they didn't really make it clear that, you set up your defense and you can change your offense. And obviously playing this, you can change your planes offensively. You can change all of that up. And I do like that. And I think they should have applied that to Planet Wars. I think you should have different ways of being able to set up different things and have those saved. But I think this becomes a money grab into the fact that if you're able to save some of these little, how you're playing defensive and offensive, you're not spending diamonds. And so again, when you're playing Planet Wars and you're playing this versus your Titan, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different strategies, a whole bunch of different ways to set up your technology into just, playing the Titan. So you're seemingly continually resetting that technology to play Planet Wars, to play Star Scramble, and then to go play your Titan. And boy, that can eat up diamonds extremely fast. I wish, again, that they would have a little bit more solid system to where you could save a playlist for Titan, you could save a playlist for um, uh, Planet Wars and this, but you know, technically, whatever you're setting up for this defensively is the way you'd want to set up on Planet Wars, anyways, and vice versa. So, you know, I'm just kind of, you know, just wow, what a kind of disaster this is it's becoming. So I'm going to use some of my moves and let's just kind of see what happens here. And so I'm going to go after their bigger players here and let's just kind of see what happens here. And so, yes, you attacking the other players, your power can go down. And again, your lower level players can, you know, gang up on a bigger guy and get that power and even take them out. So, you know, don't discredit and don't wait. And, you know, I mean, if there's a bigger player there, you're wanting to kind of reset their board so that, you know, some of your other players can actually get involved and play and, you know, get some of the points by taking out some of the lower level players. So, I mean, I guess there is a tiny bit of strategy here, but not much. And so again, this is my first time playing it today. You know, I stayed up late and I was able to just kind of randomly press buttons and try to see what this was doing. And, you know, I just was like, what in the world is going on with this? Okay, so I've used my 3 supposedly attacks out of the 6 or 9 or whatever the heck, but I have no way of knowing that. So no more chances. Okay, so I'm going to go out of this. I'm going to go back in. Let's just see. And I didn't get 6 moves. I didn't get, I only got 3 moves. After 12 hours, I didn't get 9 moves. I didn't. So let me just go out completely here. And let's just go back in. And I mean, how confusing is this? Why is everybody else getting, you know, 6 moves and 9 moves after the 12 and I just got 3? So you can see nothing reset for me. I have no indication of me being able to make any more moves. I have no indication of when I'm going to get that back. Super confusing. You know, after reading the rules, after, you know, 12 hours, you're supposed to get everything back kind of the way you first started. And you can see here, I only got 3 moves. I was kind of expecting 6 and 9 as the other players were saying that some of the other teams are getting. So, I mean, this is confusing. This doesn't make any sense. I'm just very disappointed in this portion of the game. And again, they've kind of moved Wing Fighter around. Just again, how the pilots function, how our weapons are functioning, and I mean, this just is just horrible all the way around. So. I wish I had a better review for this, guys. I wish I had more to say about it. But I don't. I mean, this is basically ET of Atari for Wing Fighter. And if you don't know what ET is on Atari, it was basically the worst game ever created on Atari. So you can look that up and kind of have a laugh. But I'm sticking by my first review in my first video that this is a bad Atari game that has gone wrong, and majorly wrong. I don't see this getting better. Even if the matching's a little bit better, I don't foresee this being fun. And I do have another big thing to say. I think, and this is just me personally, this is just me, I think that Planet Wars is way too long, and I think this is too long. And I think what we're actually going to see is a lot of players stop playing this. I think we're going to have a really major problem with the Legions, of Legions kicking out players for not playing as much because it's too much. To have a 3-4 day war on Planet Wars, a 3 or 4 day war on Star Scramble, I mean, it's just taking up way too much time. We can't expect players to live on this game, 7 days a week, the way they just designed this. And I think the Planet Wars again is way too long. I think Star Scramble is way too long. I think they should shorten this up, give the players just a little bit of a break, or even shorten this up and have an actual fun event. I just think there's going to be major problems with the Legions kicking out people because of this. I don't blame other players for not wanting to play this as much now. This kind of was overkill. There's no glory in this. I think, again, even if you're a winning team, this is boring. There's, again, not really any strategy to this. And I think this is going to cause a lot of old players and even new players to say, do I really want to play this game? There's no real benefit other than getting those pilots. But again, the teams that do get those pilots are only going to be stronger and stronger and stronger. And so if you're a whale or a whale team, they just enabled them to be even stronger. I mean, there is just no cool value about this in any way, shape, or form. And if you guys have any comments or just anything, please let me know. Give me a comment. Let's talk about it. And I always try to say at the end of my videos, just have fun. But at this point in time, this is not fun, and I can foresee that this has made really big problems throughout not only Star Scramble, but throughout the whole game. I mean, they are trying to change everything for the worst Atari game made. And so, again, guys, let's just kind of see where this goes. I just don't think they're fixing this portion of the game. I think they should go into also making this game a little bit more fun in the right of, giving us rewards. I mean, giving us real, awards for making accomplishments. Make us feel like we're winning. Give the game a storyline. Move into different mission, planet strategies. Go into, like I said, a better storyline. Do something to where we feel like we're going somewhere to accomplish this game. And as of right now, this game has no ending, just like E.T. on Atari. It's just a little guy running around in circles trying to figure out how to collect points that you're not even really collecting at this point. So, okay, guys, well, there's my really bad review on this. And again, leave me a comment. I really appreciate the support. And until next time, hopefully I have a better video for you guys.